Hello everyone and welcome to this fifth episode of Outside the Box videocast. Today is the 8th of November and today we're going to talk about demons and something else. What are we going to talk about today, Hampus?
Today we're going to talk about, as you said, Deamons of Chaos and to discuss the composition of the army. We're also going to talk about BSK, which is a 4-player team tournament that was held last weekend.
Yeah, with ETC restrictions.
And then we're going to, with the ETC restrictions, of course. And also talk about the ETC, the bids for where to hold the venue next year. And also to talk a little about the ETC restrictions and our committee.
Yeah, all right.
So we talked about it on the last episode that maybe we should talk about Warriors of Chaos, but we still haven't gotten the rules yet, so we're gonna leave that for the next time.
Yeah, and also we might just skip it till they release the book, if the book comes as well.
We'll see.
Because it's kind of stupid to talk about them now if they get a new book anytime soon. We don't really know that.
Yeah, that's true.
I was kind of surprised that you had to have an iPad to be able to view the online file. I thought you should. I mean, why shouldn't you be able to read it off your iPhone, for example?
But can't you read it off your computer?
I don't know. I think it said iPad only.
I haven't tried, so I have no idea.
And you're not
I'm not the iTard either, so I don't have any idea of that MacBook shit. So
yeah. So Deamons of Chaos.
Yes.
I think we had some feedback last time, and today we're gonna only discuss the Deamons of Chaos from a ETC restrictions perspective.
Yeah.
Because we talked about comp and unrestricted and ETC restriction last time, and people felt that it was kind of...
It was really messy. Even for us talking, we didn't realize what the other ones were talking about either. So we stick to ETC and we'll do that for all the episodes because, in our opinion, it's a global ETC restriction system which everyone knows. So.
Yeah. So, talking about lords, we all know the greater demons.
Yeah.
And we also have the demon prince.
Awesome choice.
Yeah, well, I think they're all pretty good. Some of them are a bit... they have a bit more edge to them. The Bloodthirster and the Great Unclean one, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Especially. But also the lot of change is good, and I think that I'm pretty sure he gets a lot better when you don't have the true line of sight, because he's, as is the Bloodthirster, very vulnerable to cannons. But
but he can do something from range at least. The Bloodthirster, if you have a bad matchup with the Bloodthirster, you can't do anything. For example, Empire with you can't do shit. So,
but I would say if I could just rank them, I would prefer the Bloodthirster, and then the Great Unclean one, then the Lord of Change, then the Keeper of Secrets, and at last the Demon Prince.
Yeah. Shall we even discuss the Demon Prince? He's so overpriced and totally unplayable in my opinion.
Well, in ETC he's not very very useful.
No. So let's start with the Bloodthirster. What at the ETC restrictions, how would you run them if you're playing either a singles tournament or a team tournament? I know how I would run him, but I'll see what you say, guys.
I would run him with the rerolls, the Armor of Khorne, and I think I would give him Killing Blow, the Axe of Khorne.
Yeah.
And depending on the rest of your army, no, I'm not sure. Maybe you could give him a better defense against magic, but I don't think I would do that.
Maybe Spellbreaker.
Yeah, exactly. Either the collar or the Spellbreaker.
Yeah.
If you're running, as I think you should do, with a Herald of Sench, you can give them the Spellbreaker instead, and then you can actually run the Dark Insanity. because the Dark Insanity with Immortal Fury and an armor is a decent build, I think. Because you still have the strength 6, you skip the flaming, because at ETC Pegasus characters with word save versus flaming is just too common, so you can't run him.
Yeah.
And the killing blow doesn't give that much, in my opinion. The extra attacks might be a better choice, I think.
Then you have the rounds where you roll a double 1 or a...
Exactly, because
I don't like
you
that.
want
Yeah,
a
sure.
stable Bloodthirster.
Yeah, you want him stable, but you still need to combo charge him every time anyway. You never solo charge a Bloodthirster into anything. At
No,
least
but-
I don't.
But that doesn't change with the Dark Insanity. I mean,
Yeah, but he isn't as unstable if you run him like that. I mean,
yeah, but
the only
if
reason
you run him,
the only reason not to that you really need him stable, in my opinion, is that you don't just flank one turn and then you die.
yeah, and that's the problem with Dark Insanity. You might roll that double 1 and that's a flank.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. But if
You
you
have
combo
7.
charge him, it doesn't really matter because then the blood letters or whatever you combo charge him with can make up for that. So
Then if it doesn't matter, you're wasting 55 points.
no, but you still need to kill it fast, like big units of infantry or knight units or something like that.
But you're only in average you're only getting 2 attacks for 55 points.
Yeah, sure.
And that might even out.
But that's 2 rollable attacks, so
True, but still,
it's something like the Blood Fury and.
because I would, as Anders said, I would prefer to have 7 attacks always. Then I always know what's gonna happen. I've never liked the.
No,
the
I've
variable number of
actually
attacks.
never played the Dark Insanity, and I played loads of Bloodthirsty games, but I really think it's a viable build.
It could be.
So
He's not going to suck, but it just, you know, that turn you roll a double 1 it's really gonna hurt.
yeah, I know. So then we can go to the Lord of Change, maybe.
Yeah,
Sure.
I don't like him. A lot of people say that okay, he's a pretty good choice, but I think he it doesn't really work. At least if you're talking about true line of sight, he's crap.
Yeah.
With
then you
with
can't play.
with the ETC type of line of sight, I think maybe, but with only a 5+ ward save for that kind of model, doesn't really work.
No, you got shut down too easy.
Yeah.
By like strength 3, Daka, or yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
since he doesn't have the armor of Khorne that can deal with the low strength attacks.
Exactly.
No, I mean if you would give him a 4+ ward save like the Demon Prince if he's Mark of Singe, I still think that I'm not sure even
You
then.
don't get 4+.
The Demon Prince does.
They don't get anything from the marks. They don't get.
They don't?
No.
They use a
the 4+ save is for the Demon Prince in the Warriors of Chaos book.
Yeah.
These marks cost 35 points and doesn't do anything except allowing them
Yeah,
to take
exactly.
other gifts.
Yeah, that's
It's
true,
so
that's
fucking
true.
retarded. So, yeah. But if I run a lot of change, I think there's several viable builds which are somewhat similar. Because I would always run him, or almost always run him as a Lore of Change, Lore of Sench magician.
Yeah. Yeah, the Glean Magic is really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
running double Glean Magic, or like it was the Italians this year, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of nice when you have these powerhouse magic schools with the awesome spells. And then I prefer to run Spell Destroyer, I think, or maybe Sench Will.
Sench Will makes him a bit more reliable, but the Spell Destroyer is so good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of a tough choice, but I don't know. I feel like the Sench Will is too good to resist.
Yeah, you need it.
And also I like the Dark Mages too.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, with the Singe Will, you could at least, if you had to, you could at least try to take one shot from a cannon. If you really had to get away or move
It's a really
without
low, it's a really low chance that you die from one cannon shot.
And if you have the Dark Magister, you can use the Sench Will a bit more offensively because you don't have to save it for that miscast.
No.
You can use it to increase your casting value or whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. But the main problem with a lot of change at 2.4k is that you can't max him, not even close to max him out. So you have to skip magic levels, and that's a pain in the ass when you're running a Lord Magician. You can't even run him as a level 4. Yeah, that's the main reason I don't really like him, to be honest, is that you can't really max him out. You don't get a level 4 Magician even though you pay like 600 points for him, so...
The pro is that you still get one more level. I mean, you can run him like as a level 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get one more level than if you're just running a Sench Herald, and if you're using the Lord of Sench, +3 to cost is enough because it's very low casting value on the spells.
True.
But yeah, preferably you should have a level 4, of course. But then I'd say mostly for the spells.
Yeah.
And you can get the double gleam magic as well, since you have the Master of Sorcery.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Master of whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely a playable piece, especially with the ETC line of sight where you can hide him.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, with true line of sight, it's too risky with the cannons. Ogres got cannons, dwarves got cannons, and as you said, the strength 3 shooting, the strength 4 shooting, will eventually pick him off.
And also all the magic, like long range magic missiles and things like that.
Yeah, and like banishment.
Light batteries.
Oh, banishment.
Like kills him outright.
Yeah. Alright, the Great Unclean one then. Also here, I think I have several viable builds. You can run him as a level 4 Magician and like tank up things. Or you can just go with the base sword and then come up with like either this the Stream Mobile or the Pestilent Mucus. No, Noxious Vapor.
The Noxious Vapors.
Noxious.
Yeah.
I think the best build is for me is Noxious Vapors and then the base sword. Because I mean, when you're casting magic with an Empire level 4 or any other magician, sometimes he just dies from the cascade, and you don't want that to happen to the Great Unclean one.
No. Oh, level 4 is very risky.
Yeah, because then you lose the game. It's over. I mean, he costs like...
It's like... You can do it with a lot of change. You can do it with a lot of change just because the Sench Will and the Dark Magic.
Exactly.
It doesn't have anything like that.
No.
But on the other hand, the Nurgle lore is really, really good.
Yeah.
Especially against elf armies, which I'd say the demons struggle against normally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the worst matchup. But then also Noxious Vapors, or the Stream Mobile, or... Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to... I mean, the Stream Mobile is nice. I'd say that one over the Noxious Vapors because he does have trouble with the rank and file. He only has 4 attacks, and well, he's got the stomp, but sometimes when I've played him, I feel like the extra combat resolution from the breath has really helped a lot.
Yeah.
And nothing is going to kill him before he strikes. So I mean,
not the first turn, but maybe
no,
the second
exactly.
turn.
I mean, if you charge, for example, a dragon, it always strikes last. I mean, yeah, it's good, but I mean, you're going to be able to strike.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the difference is, for example, if you charge, take a vampire with Trickster Shard, he will do like 3 wounds or 4 wounds on you, and it's nice to keep those wounds and strike him down before he can strike you, and you can even charge after you have taken a cannonball or 2 as well.
He'll do more than 3 or 4 wounds, right? I mean,
Yeah, it depends on if you're running Ogre Blade or Sword of Might.
yeah.
But yeah, if you're running
And yeah,
Sword
then
of
it's
Might, you'll do several wounds.
But then
I
again,
think that if I would run him, I would take him as if we're talking about him as a magician, I think that I would run him with the Stream of Bile, and that's it. Just to keep the cost down and to make him a little bit more usable when the enemies get close.
Not with a Bale Sword.
If I have him as a level 4,
Yeah, sure. Then you can't.
I don't really want him in combat.
You don't have the points. If you run him as a level 4, you can only pick
Exactly.
30 points. So
if you run him as
So
a level 4, it's not really a choice. You don't have a choice to keep him cheap. He's already expensive.
yeah. But still, I don't need to put more points on him that I'm never going to use.
No.
I mean, I don't want to fight with him in close combat.
No.
I like the Bale Sword build.
Yeah, me too.
I prefer that one, I guess.
Yeah, the Bale Sword build. I mean, it takes care of so many problems, and I mean,
You know, I'm gonna play a Great Unclean one sometimes, and I'm gonna take the Bale Sword and the Stream of Bile.
yeah. Why not?
Then he's a really, at least once he hits really hard.
That's probably
He always hits hard, but he doesn't hit a lot. That's the problem. He
No.
kills someone a lot, but a lot of them. And then, I mean, the breath weapon is nice even outside of combat. If you have a lot of chameleon skinks or something running around, you just turn around and breath them.
Yeah.
And I mean,
You shouldn't put up a Great Unclean War versus Lizardmen, though. Sure, you can kill one skink pack, then it's only 6 left, so you
Yeah.
still have a problem.
He flamed 9 skinks. Yeah. Now he died to poison.
yes, fair trade.
Fair trade. So, the last one, the least viable choice, Keeper of Secrets.
Yeah, definitely.
He doesn't work.
If it's the only place to put your Siren Song, he could be viable.
No.
But he still suffers from the same problem as the Lord of Change. He's a bit too squishy.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he can't
and
do
he
damage from
doesn't have any
range.
defense.
Because
No,
this
exactly.
one you really don't want to run as a level 4, in my opinion. Sure, still, the lore is nice, but you can't get any support casters, or you can, but they're fucking overpriced, so you don't get them. And yeah, sure, he strikes as hard as the Bloodthirster when he's in combat, but yeah.
I mean, there's no reason to take him over the other ones.
No.
Even with like Spirit Swallower, he's just as a grinder, and I mean, the whole army is a grinding army anyway. So I mean, he doesn't do anything. I don't think he adds anything to the
No.
army.
No.
Another unit of core is better, always.
Yeah.
So.
But if you would run him, I think I would run him with the Spirit Swallower.
It's a nice one.
I've played
I
him.
think so.
I've always played him with the Siren. Yeah, the Siren Song. It might be banned, but Siren Song, Soul Hunger, and Torment Blade
I think
to
that's,
keep him kind of cheap and still strike hard. So
But then you could use the Ether Blade, and then you have
Yeah,
yeah,
a
but
beast
you
that
still
can
have
be-
strength 6 with armor piercing. So
Yeah,
the
that's
1
true.
plus is only a 5 plus in a way. So it doesn't
Yeah.
give that much in my opinion.
But the
I mean,
5+.
if you should do something about the demon book to make the Keeper Secret more viable, I think that if you push down the Spirit Swallower to maybe 75 points, that would be one thing, because now you're only getting the Spirit Swallower, and that's not enough.
Now, if you could get the Spirit Swallower and the Siren Song,
Yeah,
he would be a bit more viable.
yeah, but still crappy against all the other greater demons.
Compared to them, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd say.
Alright,
Even.
let's move on. We can't really say more.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
And,
he's as squishy as the Lord of Change, but he doesn't do anything at range.
No.
So
No.
No.
And if you want
And
to...
that's too bad, because the Slaanesh lore is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't
So,
scale
and,
that well with the rest of the army. I've tried
did you say?
It doesn't scale that much with the rest of the army.
No. But then Demon Prince, we're gonna just... He's crap.
Yeah.
Don't play him.
No.
If you don't.
But if you would play a Demon Prince, that could be interesting. How would you how would you have to play him?
It
fly
it,
and
it
don't-
really
you
depends on... You never play
No.
him.
You
if
don't
have
buy
any restrictions
any
that allows him to be like decent.
You don't buy any demonic gifts and just hide him at the best place.
Oh, but I mean, like Winged Horror and like Featherblade or something. I mean,
I'll run Immortal Fury. Because that's
Yeah,
good.
No, but to be honest, I think Winged Horror, Immortal Fury, and Soul Hunger.
Or maybe as a caster.
but if he's got the Featherblade, at least he can like.
Yeah, but he only get 25 more points. What are you going to give him? Fly and Etherblade.
Yeah.
No, Etherblade and Immortal Fury. You already have movement 8, you don't need to fly.
Well.
Yeah, but if he the thing is, you want him to be able to attack the right things, and for that you really need him to fly.
But with that build you don't have any right things anyway. He can't attack anything.
Like 5 knights.
But to
yeah,
be
but that's
honest,
like still a risky combat, so...
yeah,
No.
I didn't say he was good, but I think that
you said he was crap.
if I'd run him, I think I'd run him like that. I mean, he can create no fly zones for like Pegasus characters or something like that. I mean, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
And then the Pegasus character has the pendant, and then you're fucked.
Alright,
Okay,
let's move on
we're
to
gonna
the
leave.
heralds. We can't really talk about the heralds, I think, without
Why can't
talking
we?
about the core. Because, like, the heralds are the core.
Yeah, of course. But we can still talk about the heralds. I mean, looking at the ETC, there were a lot of demons there.
Yeah.
But did anyone play demonettes? Did we see demonettes there?
We didn't face them, but I think there were.
Sure, someone brought them.
Yeah.
There's always one guy.
Yeah. Like you on Shadow Games playing Lizardman. There's always one.
Exactly.
To be honest, I would run them if there were tournaments.
A Lone Ranger, Chuck Norris.
What did you say, Johan?
I would run them at ETC if I play demons.
Yeah,
I'll run.
I think they're a viable choice. I mean, give them two Heralds of Slaanesh, and I think they work.
Yeah, the main thing with the demonettes, or the main problem, if you've ever tried to play the triple blooded army with the fiends as well, and some magic support, that's like the cookie cutter when it comes to ETC demons. You have one problem, and you can't fit everything in, and you can't really march up on any army because all your units stuck together. So if you run like a unit of 20 demonettes with a double heralds, they really help when you play this matchup, because with a Siren standard at ETC you can nail a unit or a diverter in place, allowing you to charge it with whatever. And that's a really I'd run the demonettes solely for that reason.
You could use Seekers for that.
No, because they get shut down by anything in one turn. They're like 30 points each. Oh.
Run 2 units then. You only have to hit one charge and then get the Bloodhunters in and the overrun.
Yeah, but the problem is that they have too few wounds for what they should do. They have only four more movements than the demonettes, and you can only do that nice combo 4 more inches. So no.
4 more movement. I mean, if you compare a dwarf army to an elf army, and the elf army is 2 more movement, and it's like worlds faster.
Yeah, sure, but you wouldn't say that that the Seekers are way more faster than the
but I mean the
Dark Riders.
Difference between a dwarf and a Chaos Knight is 4 movement.
Yeah, sure, but
yeah, I get
the
where
comparison
you're coming from.
when you're at the high numbers doesn't make such a big difference.
No, of course not. Yeah, I also see some uses for the Demonettes. They should do wonders in the Demons versus Demons matchup as well.
Yeah, and versus the Elves as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd
versus
personally
all diverters.
I'd personally run them a bit more than 20 of them, I'd say.
Yeah, you can either run them 30 as you run your Bladders, just swap a unit straight off. But I prefer to have the two Heralds in it, because you need the fighting power, because that's like 50% of all the wounds connected unit is from the Herald. So I run in like that, but it's risky as well because you will give away more points because they have this.
I think that also one advantage with the Demonettes, the Bloodletters, is that the Demonettes, at least according to me, they do good even though you deploy them 5 wide or 6 wide.
Yeah.
They have the rerolls in the second round as well, so you can charge something, it can't flee, and then the next round you can combat reform up to Horde if you want, and you still have your rerolls. And as you said, with if you're running the cookie cutter list with the 3 Bloodletters, it does take up a lot of space in deployment. But if you can fit 5 wide Demonette unit in there instead, it should cause a lot more problems for your opponent.
Yeah, exactly. And also they are faster, so you can run them on a flank, which allows them to be faster coming up with the rest of the army. If you have like this, and then at the tip you can run the Demonettes and go for that kind of movement. So I definitely think...
Was that a screwdriver? Why you have a screwdriver?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been laying it down around here for like 2 months. I haven't put it down.
Have you been fixing stuff lately?
I have no idea why it's here in the first place.
When you were talking, I made a demo list with that in mind. I would run it with 2 Heralds of Khorne. 1 BSB and 1 with the Armor Khorne and Firestone Blade.
Yep.
I put Demonettes of Slaanesh, a unit of 27. 2 Chaos Furies, 10 Pink Horrors, and a Herald of Tzeentch with Master of Sorcery and Scroll.
Breaker.
Yeah. And then... oh, sorry, I missed one thing. And then a Herald of Slaanesh in the Demonettes.
You had 1 or 2 Herald of Tzeentch.
What?
1 or 2 Herald of Tzeentch.
1 Herald of Tzeentch.
Alright.
And then 29 Bloodletters, 29 Bloodletters, a single Fiend, a 7 Fiend. That's about it.
That's a tough army. How many Furies did you have?
2 times 5.
Yeah.
And then 1 single Fiend.
Because I feel like with these restrictions... No, the new FAQ changes, I'd say like 3 units of Furies is really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if anything pushes against the ETC demons, but if something will.
But you still need to divert. It's really nice to nail things down the ground.
So I mean, 3 units of Furies is, I'd say that's like the first thing I would include.
Yeah.
But you could say that Bloodletters are good, Demonettes are Pink Horrors. You have to defend your Herald of Tzeentch.
You don't have to have them though. With
depending on the terrain and if you can choose your matchup, maybe you don't really need the Pink Horrors. But then for me the big problem is that I can't really find... I know that some people played Plague Bears on the ETC, but I still think that they don't do that much. They don't tank that good, they don't hit that hard. I mean...
And they're also initiative 1 or 2.
2, yeah.
So, I mean, all of a sudden you have a target...
They're 1.
Yeah.
They're 1.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you have a target for the Purple Sun and the Pit of Shades.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, the Death Lore is really nasty against the demons, and so is the Shadow Lore, but then you have 2 more spells you have to worry about.
Yeah.
which isn't really helping the matchup.
No. Are you sure though? I would. I would.
Running a demon army with a demon prince, all plague bearers and beasts, up against like the 26 times 2 white lion armor with the death and the shadow magician.
Yes.
Finally, that
Game
works.
over, man! Game over.
No, yeah, I wouldn't run the horrors, by the way. As Lasse said, the horrors don't do shit, to be honest. You still need to fly, and nah, I don't like him. If you're running horrors, you really need the double Hello Sense, because otherwise I can't see any reason.
I think you're missing the most important thing. They contribute with the channel.
Yeah, forgot about
120
that.
points channeling stat. So it's awesome.
Yeah, right, but when we're running the heralds, then we come to the conclusion that you run every herald except the Nurgle. And
Yeah.
the herald Slaanesh you run with Torment Blade, and the other one you don't run with anything, because you're not allowed to take the Siren Songs. And
No.
all the other things are just stupid to take, so yeah.
Yeah.
All you stupid people out there taking things you shouldn't.
And
Uh,
Chaos
Fuck you,
and the
stupid people out
Chaos Furious, you have to have at least 2 units.
But
But,
we
yes.
should stick on the heroes, and we talk about the core later.
Yeah.
If you run a Herald of Khorne, one of them will always have the Armor of Khorne if you don't run a Bloodthirster.
Yeah.
And the Obsidian Armor is too costly, in my opinion. I've run it several times, but I've come to the conclusion you shouldn't.
You can run him naked. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're just keeping him on a flank when you charge, not that many attacks hit him, and he usually outlives one combat round.
And the Firestorm Blade is awesome to take away regen and things like that. So you should have one Firestorm Blade if you have the points. That's one of the first points I skip if I really need to cut the list down. I tend to take away the Firestorm Blade. The Herald Sense, you have like 3 viable builds. You have the Power Vortex with Wind Horror. You have the Master of Sorcery with Spellbreaker, and you have either of those with Wind Horror as well.
I think for me, I would. I mean, I don't really like the winged and power vortex. I think
no, but if you're running double heralds, you can run it. But no.
Yeah, of course. For me, the scroll is too important.
Yeah,
in
sure.
the edition.
You should always take the Spellbreaker.
Yeah.
And also, maybe the most important thing to discuss about the heroes is who should be the BSB. If you're running horrors, for example, I think I'd run the Herald Sench as the BSB.
Yeah, but then he has to be a winged horror.
Yeah, definitely.
According to me,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
he's too expensive to just have 4 movement.
Or maybe not, because you really need a Master of Sorcery as well. Or at least I think you should run either Shadow or Light Magic always with the demons. Preferably double Light Magic, as the English demon player did.
Yeah.
So what lore? What lore did you say?
Shadow or
Light.
light. Double light, preferably.
Yes.
It's kind of ironic that one of the best lores for the demon's army is the lore of light. The
camp lore,
the
yeah.
lore who's supposed to kill the demons.
Yeah.
So
the Herald of Nurgle. Yeah, he's too pricey, I think.
yeah,
Maybe Slime Trail could be worth it if you're running him, but I would never run Plague Bears anyway, so yeah.
Oh.
Going to
core.
core. We
And
don't
here
have
you
to
should say
introduce
at least about 60 bloodletters.
at ETC, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's like the first thing that you always buy, and you should
Yeah.
never buy the magic totems or the magic banners.
No banners at all.
Because the Skull Totem doesn't do anything, and the Icon of Endless War. Sure, it's really nice to charge the extra range, but when
You're gonna lose.
When you want this really long charge, you always charge once before, because you have always been diverted at least once before you have the long charge. So
Yeah.
it's not worth the 25 points. The horrors, as we said, if you run them, they are only a bunker for your heralds.
Yeah.
The Plague Bearers
You
really
can run. I mean, ETC, you don't run horrors, but I mean, it's still a viable unit. It's not a bad unit, like 30 horrors, if you're using like a magic heavy list.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, you probably won't want them.
Yeah.
So Hampus left call.
Yeah. And we don't have any backup for that either.
I just think that was very, good for us. We really don't need him.
No, not when we're discussing demons, at least. So the Plague Bearers is... Yeah, they're not as stable as they used to be. When they had the regen and the ward save and the toughness 4, they were fucking impossible to kill.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, now it's just not...
No, they got so nerfed, so...
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to play them again when they get a new book, so I think they will be playable again then.
Yeah.
The Demonettes, as we said, should always run them with the Siren Standard. That's like half the unit, in my opinion.
Yes.
That is one of the best standards in the game.
Yeah, and at
If
least
not
2
the
heralds.
best. Yeah. You could run them with 1 herald to keep the price down. Maybe even run like a unit of 10 with the Siren Standard. Might work as well. But they're really easy to shoot away if you're facing, for example, Lizardmen, which is one of matchups where you really want them. So,
Siren Standard.
Pardon?
It's one of the matchups where you really want and need the Siren Standard.
Yeah, exactly.
It changes that matchup a lot, so...
Yeah.
So, yeah, preferably more than 10.
Yeah, definitely. And then we have the Kyrus Furies, which is not really a core, but yeah. You should always take 2 units, running them at a minimum, just to be able to divert, because that's the only diverter in the army book except the single fiend, so...
Yeah, and as we said, the recent FAQ has really made them a lot better. You have to kill them all, or you're not going to overrun.
Yeah.
Which is a huge deal.
Yeah, especially when they have the 5+ wall save.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
there will always be 1 left, and then they die, because they only have leadership 2, so...
I'd say that the Furies and the Race Dead zombies from the Vampire Counts were the units that got the biggest boost from that FAQ.
Yeah, apart from the Demigryphs, of course, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean from that rule.
Ah, from that single rule, yeah,
Yes.
sure.
I mean, the entire demon army got better from it, of course, but especially the Furies.
Yeah, and the
Which,
single
I mean, you almost never kill all the Furies.
No.
What you do is you pop them because they're only, leadership 3?
2.
Leadership 2 even. So I mean, yeah. That's a great change for them.
Yeah. Moving on to special then. And now we have some swaps here with the new rules. It's kind of strange to discuss them on the ETC because they don't have any ETC restrictions, but I doubt any of them will have any ETC restrictions next year. The Flamers will be removed as well, definitely, because yeah, I can't see them playable at all nowadays. The Fleshhounds is playable.
Back.
But I really don't think that they are a great choice anyway. I prefer the pure how the fuck do you do this?
Wait, I can do it. I will add him.
I'm already doing it, I think.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
What happens?
It's my
No worries.
fucking computer. It froze.
Shit happens.
Yeah, we've been lucky so far, but today it was my turn. I think it's gonna happen again, so...
We went through the core units. Did you have anything you especially wanted to talk about on the core units?
No, I think most things you talked about is retarded, so we can leave it with that.
See, as soon as he got back, he started. I mean, he's a very unpleasant guy.
Everyone thinks
he's
that as well in Sweden, so
Yes.
he's
Yeah,
one of those guys
he's
that
a
you really don't want to play against at tournaments.
No.
Oh, now we're gonna go to the special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we
And
already
I
said
really
that,
like that.
The specials are kind of strange at ETC because both the Screamers and the Flamers have changed.
Yeah.
Alright, we can start off. Fleshhounds, they're playable. It's not the best choice, but they're still playable. Still 2 strength 5 attacks with 2 toughness 4 wounds for only 35 points with movement 8, so they are good.
And pretty much unkillable with magic.
Yeah, exactly. Except if you have the special spells, but they're still strength 5 for the Dwellers and initiative 4 for the Sun and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's a viable unit. It would be really nice in all armies, I guess, except the Demons, because the Demons have better units doing the same thing, I think.
Yeah. Yes. I don't see a reason adding any special units.
No,
No.
never.
The Flamers got nerfed, so
I haven't played
doesn't really work.
with the new Screamers, though.
It's a kind of interesting army in that aspect. It's like the opposite of the High Elves, where you don't really need the core, but you want all the special units.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, we could say like the Flamers doesn't really work. The Fleshhounds is pretty good.
Flamers.
I mean, they could work.
Yeah.
Screamers.
Yeah, but I just went through the Flamers and the Fleshhounds.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then the Screamers could work.
Yep.
I mean, there's still toughness 4, strength 4, 3 attacks, and flying.
Yeah, sure.
It depends on the opponent.
And D3 wounds against large targets, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But no flaming attacks anymore.
No.
But then the thing is, and that's why I got so happy. The new Secret Chariot of Slanesh. 110 points. I mean, it's only toughness 4, strength 4, but it got 4 wounds.
Yeah.
And D6 plus 1 impact hits.
Yeah.
Was that all you were going to say?
It's
No, but
I
I'm
was waiting
just
for the
gonna
clap.
leave it out there.
Okay.
Is it viable? Should you run it? I mean, 110 points for toughness 4, strength 4, okay, armor piercing, but 4 wounds. I mean, you're not even close to Warriors of Chaos Chariot.
No.
It's movement
Or
10.
the Dark Elf.
Yeah.
It's movement 10, so it's the fastest chariot out there, but
Yeah, it still have the problem that we talked about at the Dark Elves as well. You can't flee as a charge action, and that's a really important thing to be able to do.
It's like a top fuel car. It's the fastest in a straight line.
yes. Yeah. It's still as slow as infantry, but it's incredibly fast chariot. I watched the model, and I mean the Seekers pulling it must be really strong, because it's like spikes and stuff on the wheel. They should really dig into the ground when they drive it.
But you know they need the spikes because they're coming from the north, and it's all ice, you know.
So they've been running around in the warp, but they don't have the normal ground that we used to. They're just running around.
Why are we discussing this?
We try to focus more on the fluff, you know, to get in different.
We are really 3
viewership.
fluff guys there.
It was like movement 20 in the warp, and then they landed in the old world. It was like, damn, I'm coming for you. You should see me in the warp.
Like driving
Okay.
a Lamborghini in Sweden.
Yeah.
Does it add anything to the demon army? I don't think so.
No, definitely not.
Speed.
But then, okay, we can talk about the next special choice, the Seekers of Slanesh. I mean, there you go. You still have a movement 10 or something, don't you?
Yeah, and you can march.
Not enough whips.
The main problem with not enough boobs.
Yeah.
The main problem with the Seekers of Slaanesh is that they are not core. If they were core, they could be awesome because then
Exactly.
you can run like a unit of 30 or something.
The demonettes, they're viable because they fill up your boob slots. No, you get too few boobs for the points on these guys. It's ridiculous.
I don't know. There might be 6 boobs on the Seeker though.
You get 4 boobs for the same points.
It's so funny that you said if it would be core, you could run them like 30. I mean, that's like putting all the eggs in one basket.
Yeah, but
points.
Listen to this. You run 30, and you have three heralds, all with Siren Song. And then first turn you Vanguard them.
Okay,
Vanguard.
stop 1 second. Three Siren Song.
Yeah, sure. Now we're talking outside.
Which restrictions are we talking about here?
Some different than the ETC.
You can have like 3 Siren Songs and no unit, and it will still be as good. You're just wasting 900 points on somewhere to put your Siren Songs.
But you can Siren Song first turn, and you can Vanguard.
But you can Vanguard.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But then the Slaanesh chariots can't keep up.
No. And that's where the Philistine is.
Hold on, guys. They're just burning out in deployment, so it's like a big smoke cloud, and then they slowly but steadily.
It's the fastest chariot, but still slower than the infantry.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, should we leave the special? I mean, looking at the ETC, there's nothing here you really want.
You could. The only unit I would ever run at ETC is the Nurglings with the combination with the Great Anclean one. With
but
Nurgling
the thing is,
and just go for a draw army.
Yeah. A thing that I was thinking about is that the infestation is a demonic ability where he could put a Nurgling 6 inches from him. Can he add to a unit?
Yes.
Okay.
Then
it could be.
Kind of sure if they haven't changed it.
Yeah, it does. It's the only thing it does. I think he can't create new units.
No, he can't.
Right? I'm not sure.
What? Why did your sound go down?
My sound.
Yeah.
Is it back up?
Sounds a little bit far away, but okay. So the rare choice.
I'm like 2 hours away from you. Surprised
the rare choice.
Yeah.
Beast Nurgle, the best unit in the game. No, yes.
Beast of Nurgle.
They were great. Same thing here as we said about the Plague Bearers. They had the regeneration and the World Save, and now they only have the regen. So.
And they're faster than the Slaanesh chariots, so they can really put pressure on one flank.
But
they get snails. They get outrun by snails. It's like what the fuck? Somewhere in the warp, someone is selling off a lot of secret chariots. I think.
One thing. If you run them 4, and you have 2+2, it's a perfect spot to put the Pit of Shades.
Yes, that's true. So yeah,
to optimize on the points you get.
Exactly. No, I mean it's.
By the way, guys, I feel really sorry for those that are listening into this, which have just bought in Seeker chariots.
Oh my god. Okay. But the Beast of Nurgle doesn't work in. I mean, nobody has really tried them, but I think that.
They're too expensive.
With the death magic and the shadow, they're too expensive and they die too easily.
To be honest, just compare them to the Crypt Horrors.
Exactly.
Both are unkillable. They're both toughness 5.
Both are unkillable. Not like the Secret Chariots.
No.
Exactly.
But they're like 30 points of, or like twice the points of the wounds from the Crypt Horrors. So yeah, it's not playable. Flamers have been moved. Fiends of Slaanesh is the best choice in my opinion. Run a unit of 8 or just a single Fiends is nice as well.
Yep.
They're good at grinding infantry.
Yeah, and they're a lot cheaper than the rest, so
yeah,
still the best.
the Blood Crushers, you can run them as a solo crusher as well. Nice to like charge in and snipe out the BSBs and magicians.
Yeah.
That's their only use, in my opinion. And be a diverter.
But then we have 3 new units here.
Yeah.
In the rare choice, because we like Blood Crushers. I don't know if you said anything, but you could run them like 1+1 as a diverter, and also as a unit that could kill other fast cav or other diverters. But then, as you said, the Fiends of Slaanesh is the best choice.
Yeah.
But then we have 3 new choices: the Hellflayer of Slaanesh, the Exalted Secret Chariot.
Yeah,
and
we
the
have
Soul
the
Runner.
3 choices, and still we don't have any new choices.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think between the Hellflayer and the, what was it called? The Secret Chariot of Slaanesh. The only thing is that it's 20 points more, and that the Allurus gets 1 more attack for each unsaved wound done with the impact hits.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. You could say it like this, to be honest. I mean, the Demons of Chaos are struggling against elf armies, and a chariot is pretty good at killing dark elves, high elves.
Yeah, but not when it's dead.
No.
No.
I mean, it's too expensive.
And that's like under
it's
30
too
points,
fragile.
which you can just shoot out with Shades, High Elf, Bowman,
Yeah.
and
Shadow
But
Warriors.
if you would say like this, okay, guys, if we talk about the chariot, strength 4, toughness 4, and he has 5+ ward save.
Yep.
Would you buy it if it had like 4+ armor save?
No.
I mean, how could you change it to make it work
Well,
without going
but I mean,
without giving me a movement 12?
the demons they never had any use for the chariots, I think.
No. You need like toughness 5 or at least 3 by save, so you can so you really can take away the strength 3 shooting, because strength 3 shooting is the main curse of the demon army.
Maybe if it had a cannon and can move and shoot,
Yeah,
you'd
that
see
would be
a
nice.
few more.
But that would be totally overpowered though.
That would be the
Imagine to have a
fastest
cannon that can shoot.
Move and shoot.
That would be fucking ridiculous, come on.
And move
Move
insanely
10.
far.
Or just move
Move
6
fucking
and 5 wounds. I don't know. For a
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, big target for enemy magic and shooting.
Yeah.
And then we have the Exalted Secret Chariot. I mean, it's just twice as big. double
Twice as bad. You need to spend twice the points, so it's twice the shit.
I mean, it's I get so fucking mad because it's a fucking joke. I mean, 220 points, and then we look at the Dark Elves. What do you have? We have a Hydra, 175 points. It does everything better. It moves faster.
Is this a demon player nagging at Dark Elf army? What the fuck?
You
Oh
hear
my
us,
God.
Wrestling, you hear us.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Wrestling, we're with you. We're with you.
I mean,
No, but
seriously, the Hydra, look at your core slots and your greater demons and the magic lores and the
Okay, so Anders, to be honest, what would you prefer to play if we would play at the
That's not
ETC
my
against
point.
each other?
That's
do you
not my
want
point.
the demons? Do you want the dark elves?
But that's not my point. My point
No,
is that
no,
please, there's only
please
one army.
answer the question.
No,
Which-
there's only one army that has the Hydra. So you can't say like, oh, the Dark Elves has the Hydra, so the demons should also get something. But
Okay,
then
okay.
you're forgetting
Yeah,
another
but then we have our
Yeah.
new Hydra. We have our
Yeah.
new
It's the
monster
Seeker-
rare
It's
choice.
the Seeker Chariot.
No, we have this big thingy. Soul Grinder.
Soul Grinder,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's really good.
Everyone should buy
Oh.
one. And we're not
Lasse.
sponsored by Games Workshop.
Oh, Lasse, one
Yes.
thing. If you're at the ETC playing, what would you prefer, Lizardmen or Deamons of Chaos?
To play against or with.
If 2 armors are gonna meet, the Lizardmen and the Deamons of Chaos, which one would you prefer to play?
that depends on the build, I'd say, but I'd say Lizardmen.
Yeah.
If I don't know anything else, yeah, Lizardmen.
The same thing, Dark Elves and
Yes,
Demons.
but
No, come on.
The Dark Elves.
No. High Elves or Demons? Skaven or Demons? You want to continue?
But you can do that with a lot of armies.
Yeah, but still, I mean, if you're going to give new units to the Demon Army, give them something that they could use.
Yeah.
It's my opinion. Because the Soul Grinder, there was a lot of talk about, oh my god, it's toughness 7, 6 wounds. Yeah, but it doesn't do anything. It's crap.
It's like the Chaos Dwarf Iron Train. What's it called? The Iron
But that's playable, come on. Oh no, the train is fucking... Oh yeah, I've thought about half playable other thing.
Do you know what I just realized?
What?
Is that the huge Soul Grinder, like on 4 legs, mechanical legs, and the huge body, and movement 8, move 16 inches. Secret Chariot.
You're complaining. You just got the fastest chariot in the game, and you're complaining. You can outrun it like a tyrannic chariot. I mean, it just eats the dust from the Secret Chariots. If you just run them next to each other, the Secret Chariot would reach the other side of the table a lot faster.
Probably a half a turn or something like that.
You're complaining.
Yeah, that was the demon book. We could probably talk.
Yeah, but one thing before we leave it.
Yeah.
What would you run the Soul Grinder with? You have the shooting gaze, or what's it called, warp gaze. That's a bolt thrower, like a bolt thrower.
Yeah, I'd run the stone thrower.
A stone thrower.
Yeah, or the flame.
Or the flame.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same.
Probably the stone thrower.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then you have a really bad hell cannon.
Yeah, 300 points. Lovely.
With strength.
Okay, we're gonna leave it. Okay.
The demons is playable at ETC. It's probably one of the more balanced armies, in my opinion, at ETC.
Yeah.
Yeah, the restrictions for them I think they really work.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've been really good.
Should be interesting to see.
Especially the Master of Sorcery, in my opinion, is like the great thing that they did. They only get 2 spells.
Yes.
We like them. So, we leave that and talk about the BSK?
Yeah.
Sure.
Who wants to explain the BSK?
It's so much disappointing I couldn't do it.
If we discuss it last time. It's like a 4-player ETC tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a draft system for... You can do some kind of drafting.
Yeah, for the pairing.
Yeah, you have the same pairing system as in the ETC, but you're only doing the pairing once.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the last
4
armies. The last 4 armies in ETC.
Yeah. And we've been going 2 years, 3 if you count this year.
Yeah.
And
no, we've been going. I've been going in 1 more year. No, you haven't.
well,
That's true. We've been playing as a team for 3 years now.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
and
First year
yeah,
we lost at painting, or
Yeah.
we didn't get.
We
the
were
full
we were
painting
undefeated. Took
we won
most
all of
battle points, but lost on painting.
Yeah.
Ended up in 2nd place, was it?
yes.
Yeah.
Next year we smashed everybody. Won, still undefeated.
Yeah, with the most horrifying armies ever placed on the Warhammer table in the team.
Yeah, they were really nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
And then this year, some teams stepped up. We felt, or I felt at least before the tournament, that it would be really hard to win this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we had it all in our own hands last game.
Yeah. We were in
You
the
could
lead
say
with
that
9 points, so we should have
10.
won. Yeah, 10 points, yeah.
Yeah, 10 points. I think that the thing was that this year, everybody said, not everybody, but there were 3 teams, and we said that, I mean, it's gonna end up like a matter of chance, depending on the matchups in the end. But I think we're gonna end up like top 3, and we felt pretty confident when we after the first game we won that fairly easy.
Yeah.
Then we had to play both our main competitors in the next 2 games.
Yeah.
Both ETC player teams, so to say.
Yeah.
Both.
And we won the first one pretty big, 48-32.
Yep.
And then we drawed against the team, the Drill Fists, who won.
Yeah.
The BSK.
Yes.
And I mean, we hate them, but still we gotta say congratulations.
I think, I mean,
Well
they
played.
deserved it. They were more prepared than
they
we
deserved
were
it.
and everything.
yeah, we didn't play test anything and just went there.
Yeah, it was stupid of us. Really stupid.
Yeah, but I mean, had we had a bit more luck in the last game and maybe not played opponents who just turtled in 4 corners,
Yeah.
I think we would still have won the tournament.
Yeah, but
Even
it was
though we didn't.
well played of them. Really, really nice played actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They knew that was
And,
the
and
way
in
that
the end, they accomplished the thing they set out to do, and that was to prevent us from winning the tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, we gotta give them that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Next year we're gonna fuck them up real good.
Yeah, teabag them.
Yeah, teabag them
Yes.
for 6 rounds.
Yes.
No, but it was a really. I mean, the tournament and the organization around it. It's pretty chaotic. But the guy he's called Buffy, who arranges it all, every year. Does it? I mean, he does it pretty good. I mean, he's on his own. Not that many helpers, and it's still one. I mean, it probably is one of the best tournaments every year.
Yeah.
The terrain was really nice to see as well.
Yeah,
They were really
I think so
stepped it
too.
up, Yeah.
Yeah, the tables were nice. Everything ran smoothly, I think.
Yeah,
No problem.
balanced tables as well with the terrain.
Nice with one game on the Friday as well.
Yeah, I really enjoyed
So-
it.
Yeah, like always. And I think he should stick to that because it was so nice to get home at a decent hour on Sunday.
Speak for yourself. Oh, I'm still tired.
So, what more can we say about the tournament?
We can't really go into the matches. We ran. You can talk about lists we're on.
Yeah, that we can do. I played Ogre Kingdoms, 2x5 Mournfangs. It was pretty much the I think was it the Polish Ogre Kingdoms, but I skipped the Hellheart and took the Terrifying Mask of E and the Dispel Scroll instead. I think that worked much better for me.
Yeah.
And the army worked really good. I managed to take 68 battle points during the weekend, so I'm satisfied with that. Lost 1 game, drawed 1, and won 3. That's me.
Lasse?
I played the Dark Elf of the army. It's a bit of a test experiment. Ran 38 Witch Elves, Shadow Magic, Cauldron, 1 Pegasus character, the Hagriff Dawnstone guy, and just 2 times 10 Shades, a Hydra, and some Chaff. And I mean, the main objective was that the army could play anything, and I think it could. And unfortunately, I got to play the 2 armies I felt I would do the worst against. Idefur's Dark Elves and Kai's Dark Elves, both ETC players. They both had fire magic and stuff like that, so it wasn't really a nice matchup for me. They shot more and hurt more in the magic phase, so it was a bit like a turtle thing going on in those games. Managed to score 60 points, not satisfied with that, but considering the matchups and the dice fuck in the last game, I have to say I'm pretty satisfied anyways.
Yeah. I ran an Orc and Goblins list with 10 trolls, and yeah, the rest was standard. I think I played a bit too defensively. I don't really push that much with the Savage Orcs, so I think that was the main problem with the list, or with my playing style rather, because I tend to play it more safely, taking the points easy instead of going for more and risk my own points as well. I took 66 points I think during the tournament and got my first draw at the BSK, so that sucked, because yeah, it's always fun to always win at the BSK, so yeah.
Yeah.
And that was in the last game as well, so congrats to you. That
Yeah, motherfuckers.
Yeah, we're coming for you next year. Shall we talk about, we said something else.
Christian played Vamp accounts, played the insane Mongo Lord with 3 Banshees, 2 Cryptor units.
Death Magic.
Yeah. Easiest noob army, auto win, A move, point and click army in the entire world. Everyone and his grandmother can play the army and so on. Yeah. So yeah, I think we had 4 nice armies, and the wild card, the Orcs, was a good. I mean, it's a resource to have. I think in these, if you're only playing 4 teams, it's good, and I think it's really good at ETC as well.
Yeah.
Even better. So yeah, the Orcs is. I think
so
it's nice.
Appreciated.
Yeah, I think it's the Orc book is really interesting and fun to play against, and yeah, takes some getting used to.
I think next year we should be running the Orcs as you run the dwarves more. You play them as you play the dwarves, just staying there taking 10 points versus any matchup. Just that they don't break, or you can just push them as well, playing it more risky, because it's not that many units in the game that they can stand up to the Savage Orc block, at least on the charge, or first round of combat rather.
But the tournament was talking about BSK. The tournament, I mean, it was good, and the main thing is that we're still undefeated.
Yeah.
It was really funny. Maybe Lasse, you should talk about your last turn charge that kept us still undefeated.
Yeah, well, for those who weren't there, I played Kai from the Swedish ETC team with his Dark Elves, and the matchup was not good at all for me. He shoots better, he's got the Life Taker and I don't, and the Fire Magic is really nasty in that matchup. He can fry my Shades with the Life Taker and the Fire Magic, and when he gets more Shades than me on the table, it's not fun. So, and also he's got more Pegasus characters as well. So I was just trying to stay alive for 6 turns, and Kai is a coward. So when I tried to kill stuff, he just ran away with it. So the table was like littered with units, with like 2 guys remaining, just above 25%. So in the 6th turn, we counted and realized that I had taken exactly 0 points from him, and he had taken like 700 points from me.
And we needed 12 points in this matchup to stay undefeated.
We were the last.
8.
We were the last.
Yeah, 8 points. Sorry.
We were the last 2 guys. You had all finished playing.
Yeah.
So when we had counted that, we realized he was in a 14-6 lead, which would put them ahead 42 to 38. So I realized I had to do something. I needed 300 points. So I charged.
There she was.
Yes, he had put his mage bunker like 18 inches or 17 inches from my Pegasus character and my Harpies. So I figured, why, what the hell? I mean, I charged the unit. Kai, being a complete jackass, forgot to stand and shoot with his Life Taker. And I got the Pegasus character.
It's only 2 Harpies left as well.
Yeah. He had some luck when he killed the 3 Harpies the turn before, because I think he shot them at hard cover with Shades that had moved or something like that. So I was kind of disappointed with that. But I felt like he might roll a 1-1 or whatever. I mean, if I get 1 Harpy, at least I have a chance. And those 55 points extra wouldn't do anything for the total points. So I was like, what the hell? And Kai realized that, holy shit, this might work. So he forgot to shoot the Life Taker. and it was just so many people around the table watching, and everybody was just so excited, and we were excited, and we held up our hands, and we were both like shaking. So I got the charge in, and my plan was to be able to buff or debuff the mage bunker, like give the mage a miasma, so I hit the mage better, or a withering or something, just to increase the odds on the harpist killing the level 4, which had also taken 1 wound from a miscast, and she had no save of any kind. He had a champion in the bunker, so that guy was going to challenge my Pegasus. I knew that, but it still gave me a chance of breaking the unit as well, so that's why I made the charge, and also to be able to maximize against the level 4, the Harpies. But my magic phase didn't go so well. My first spell, I cast a Pit of Shades on his Dreadlord and failed to reach the casting value, so I couldn't cast any more magic, so the Harpies were on their own, and then came the close combat phase. So I had to do 2 wounds with 4 attacks on 4+4+. And so I roll and I hit with 2 attacks, and then it's like, okay, these has to wound, otherwise they're going to win the game. And I decided I wanted to roll 1 dice at a time. And I think it was at this point I rolled 1 dice and it ended up like a 4, so I did 1 wound. And I think that was when you left the room, right, Hampus? You couldn't watch. No. Yeah, and everybody was so excited.
No, I didn't leave. I saw the both dices, but I left the room because I didn't believe that we were home free. I didn't want to hear about the points.
Okay, yeah, so I have the last dice left, and me and Kai were just looking at each other, and I was like, okay, so a 4+, we're still undefeated. Everybody was so nervous, we were shaking, and I rolled the dice, and it ended up being a 6, so I killed his level 4. And his expression was just priceless. That was my best moment in Warhammer ever. I destroyed Kai. Something broke that night.
It looked like he just got stabbed or something.
We haven't seen that expression on his face since he played Asker at ETC and realized he didn't have to lose those last points. He just couldn't believe it. He was like, what?
Oh my god.
What happened? Oh my god. Yeah, and he was just running around looking for his army list, and he was like, "Oh, I think it's 315 points," and that was like exactly what I needed. And he was like, "Please don't be 315 points." Yeah, and it was, so it ended up at 12-8. Yeah, such a great moment when I came out in the hallway, and you were waiting to see what the results were, and I said, "We're still undefeated," and we were just screaming in the hallway. Yeah, it was so much fun.
Oh my god. It was really good.
Yeah.
It was a really funny tournament. But next year, I'm gonna say this out loud, nobody's gonna even get close.
No.
This was their chance of taking us down.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been jinxing ourselves for 3 years.
Yep.
So we can't change. Let's keep it up.
15 BSK games now, being undefeated. Next year, it'll be 20.
Yeah.
No problem.
So that was BSK.
Yep.
And if anybody wants to know anything about the tournament, it's always held in November in Sweden. I mean, the end of October or the beginning of November. And if there are teams out there that want to come here and play, just contact us on Facebook or Twitter, or just write in the comments on YouTube, and we can give you some more information.
Yes, it's a really nice tournament.
Yeah, really nice.
I mean, tournaments are great. It's the best kind of tournaments in my opinion.
We might need some international guys if there's ever going to be a chance of us losing our undefeated title.
So, leaving that, the ETC.
Yep.
This is the last thing we're going to talk about today. Where do we think it should be held? I mean, there are 2 bids up now. It's Serbia or Greece.
Yes.
But there are some, how do you say, there are some complications or restrictions to that. the Greece are only supposed to have the fantasy,
Yes.
I think, and
No,
if it's
I
held,
think they will be hosting
Hosting.
both of them, but I think it would be on different times, so
oh, maybe it was like that.
occasions. I think so.
And Serbia were supposed to do both 40k and fantasy in the same place, yeah?
Yep.
I think so.
Yes.
What do you think about that, Lage?
I prefer if it's arranged at the same venue or at the same time, but I really don't care that much, to be honest, because I don't talk that much to the Swedish team or any other 40k team. It's nice to drink some beers with them, but
They're all great guys.
yeah, they're all great guys, and I know several of them from my home time in Linköping. So, but it's not that important to me. But if it can be held in Serbia, why shouldn't we do that? That's like my main pitch.
Yeah, and it should
Yeah.
be cheaper, I guess. Cheaper the cost of living and the trip there.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
Going
And
to
I'm
Greece in the summer is kind of expensive, I guess. So
I was looking
Depending,
at the-
okay, I mean, this is not going to be any
High
kind
season.
of flaming or anything, but I mean, everything depends on how the Greek economy goes. I mean, we don't know right now. I think for me, Serbia is a better choice. It's a more stable choice.
yeah, probably.
But
yeah, and
then again,
it looks
Serbia
nice.
is more expensive during the summer also. So
Yeah, but just looking at the pictures they put up, it looks like a really nice place, and the venue looked big, and they had Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So if I mean my vote is for Serbia, and I think that is the consensus in the
Yeah.
Swedish
Yeah.
team right now.
Yeah, I think so as well.
yeah,
I mean, well, at least the former Swedish team that has been discussing the vote for the next year. We'll
Yeah.
see which team goes there, but yeah.
but then talking about like Flames of War and other games,
Yeah.
do you think should the venue keep growing, or should we stay at 40k and fantasy and let the other games make their own ETC?
The problem with making a larger tournament is that lesser and lesser places in Europe will be able to.
Post it.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's nice to just keep it at the Warhammer section, and then it's great that War Machine played it in England this year, right?
Yeah.
And things like that, because it's nice to bring all the gamers together, which plays.
Sweden
really-
won.
Yeah, by the way.
Oh.
At least you can win something.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything against Flames of War, but if it really changes the possibilities for the tournament being held in different locations, stuff like that, I'd say they're on their own.
Yeah, me too. I agree. I mean, it's so freaking big now.
Yeah.
And I mean, the only thing that could happen to the fantasy and 40k right now is that more countries want to come. And I mean, if let's say we have 35 countries for 40k and 35 countries for fantasy, I mean that's like just the players to be able. It's like 560 people, and
Yeah.
then there's always
The
like
captains,
friends, girlfriends, captains, just hang-arounds. I mean,
Yeah.
it's getting too big.
and all the
And you also want
hotels
to be able to have the EE before, and
Yeah, exactly.
And the more people,
So
the more
then-
expensive the hotels will get as well, and yeah, everything just gets, not as.
yeah,
good
we
as
have
you
to
think.
vote on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been reading it through and thinking it through. I saw one of the former ETC players said their opinion, but I think I need to think a little bit more before we decide, so we don't miss anything. I mean, just voting on Serbia or Greece, we have to like think, okay, is there anything we're missing? Do we need like a visa or something to get into Serbia? No, I know we don't, but yet again, I think you really need to think it through.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then the last thing, and we could keep this maybe a little bit short. I mean, we've been talking for so long right now. Talking about the restrictions and the R committee. I applied for the committee. I don't think I'm going to be picked, but it would be nice to be able to affect some things that I felt went out of hand.
We've never had a Swedish
no
chairman in the AR committee.
And
so
we've been in the ETC from the beginning as well, so we really should be able to have a chairman. So
about time, about goddamn time now.
But if you would be a dictator doing the restrictions, anything particular you would change?
Who are you talking to?
Take your pick. You, Lasse, first.
I think that the restrictions are pretty good as they are right now. Maybe, I mean, depending on how strong you think the vampire counts are, perhaps the combo with Quick Blood and Red Fury might have to be overlooked. Not sure about that. Lift all the restrictions on the Listener army and no. As I said, I think the restrictions are pretty good as they are right now.
Yeah, I'd say allow Wood Elves to have 10 more Glade Guards. I'd say allow or ban, like allow Dark Elf only to have 3 flyers again or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't enjoy playing against that flying circus that much. Only allow High Elves to have 2 power dices.
Yeah, the High Elves are too strong.
Yeah, but they're really close to being balanced. So
yeah, I think so too. I think, like you said, just take it down a notch. Just maybe 2 power dice.
Yeah.
Or maybe restrict it to 50 White Lions or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Maybe just give them not the plus 100 points. Just leave them the same points as everyone.
No, that will affect
really
them too
need,
much.
They really need those points. They really,
but they really need the White Lions as well.
Yeah, but 50 is still the thing that most of them were playing. So.
Yeah, but yeah, I think we can agree.
I think
on
the power dice is the big thing here.
Yeah. Maybe only be able to look over the Moonfang Iron Blaster restriction, because that doesn't do anything at the moment.
No.
It restricts the triple trees of Thresh, or whatever you say. 3 times 3 Moonfangs with Iron Blaster, but yeah.
But then, if you look at it this way, I mean, we can talk about like the Empire or the. Oh my god, my brain froze. The Ogre Kingdoms, the Dark Elves, the High Elves, the Lizardmen. But if we go to armies that are not being represented, like the Beastmen and the Tomb Kings, what could you do? I mean, for me, it's kind of like there's no use in giving them 100 points more.
Oh.
I mean, are they a lost cause?
Beastmen will get boosted if you remove the channeling cap with the power dice, and that's just a bad rule, I think, because, for example, Scepter stability becomes unplayable with Scroll, because you can't use the Scepter when you channel, and that's just crap, because Scepter stability is one of the best magic items in the game, and yeah, I don't like it.
Not one of the best, but yeah, it's really good.
I think it really is one of the best. For its points cost, I really think it's one of the best items in the game.
Next show, I'm going to bring you a list of 50 magic items. I think that is better. No,
like
not 50.
Potion of Foolhardiness?
At 15 points.
10. No.
Potion of Foolhardiness?
I mean, okay, it's one of the best 15 points magic items, but that's a completely different
thing.
If
you compare it to Siren Song and
Pendant.
Yeah, but unrestricted items that you can play with at EC, I think it's one or better.
Yeah, sure. It's one of the better now, and
one of the best.
That's
one of the better is the same thing. Yeah.
Big disclaimer, but it's really good. It's basically like 1 + 1 dispel dice.
It's better.
It's
way better.
No, it's not way better. 1 + 1 dispel dice should always be better.
No, not at all.
This discussion
Because,
sounds
for example, if your opponent rolls 7, how many displays will you use?
10.
3. You will always use 3.
Yeah, but if you roll 7, how many do you have? You have 4,
but the problem is that if you have the Scepter Stability, or for example, if you roll 6 on a really important spell, then you can dispel it with 2, and then 3 times out of 4, you will be fine with that.
Yeah, sure. But
and then if you only use 2, then you have gained 1 die by using that.
Yeah,
and then
sure.
for the next spell you can do the same thing and the same thing again. So
guys,
you can actually get several dices in the same turn.
If you have a magic phase and you roll Winds of Magic and say you roll a 3 and a 4,
yep.
How many blood letters do you have? Okay, so you like I think the Scepter of Stability is really good. Lasse can bring 2,000 magic items that's better with a 100 points cost. Let's leave it with that, okay?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Maybe.
The discussion went out of hand. If you roll like 6, 3 out of 4 times, it's gonna be fine. But then my Scepter of Stability.
But the most important question is, would you take the million?
Yeah, I would take the million. Peter, if you're watching, always take the million.
Okay, guys. But if you can eat poo as well, would you stay?
But okay, so Lasse, I mean, like the normal armors, we think they're pretty balanced. Maybe some smaller tweaks, like you said, Lage with the Dark Elf, skip the Flying Circus.
Yeah.
But the armors that are not being like represented, like we said, the Tomb Kings, the Beasts. You said about the Beast, lighten the channeling cap up, or the.
For example, the problem with the Tomb Kings is that that list is really too unstable to play. Even if you get like 3,000 points, the list will still have the problem with the Hierophant being really squishy and.
Yeah, I mean it's just a tar pit.
Yeah,
it's a bad tar pit.
Yeah, and I don't know if I like the list. I think you can probably build it kind of decent in some way. Going for
I like the Danish ETC armor.
I don't think they liked it.
No,
yeah.
no, I don't.
Okay. I like the idea. They did something that was completely wrong. Completely wrong.
Yeah, completely wrong. That's that's spot
they did
on.
that too, but completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was completely wrong also, but completely different. And he felt that we play them in the 4th game. Yeah. And he said, it doesn't work. But they tried. And I like that with the Danish guys. They did the 4 armies with the night buses.
Yep.
Not the year before. And I think it's good. They're testing and thinking about new strategies. So I really like it.
Playing it a bit more safe. Using armies that we know work. Maybe this next year the team will bring some more original combinations.
Yeah. So we could say it like this: for this year, don't change too much. Don't go all out. I mean, it's pretty good as is.
Yeah.
It
I
needs
really
some
like
tweaks.
the 5 power dice cap. I really enjoy that. I don't think we should go back to 6 power dice.
No. And I really like 4 power dice on the death magic, for example.
Yeah.
And people still brought death, so.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's still extra restricted for example, 7. So
it's relatively low costing value on the death floor anyway. So I mean, 4 dice is and the death floor has so many spells that are good. So since you can cost them all with 4 dice, the lore is still very good. I mean, it doesn't restrict it that hard. It just removes the odds of you irresistible forcing like a Purple Sun in the wrong time.
But for example, the thing that I talked about with the Russian guys at the Danish tournament, the Giant Fanatic that we went to, if we restrict, for example, the Dwellers and the Purple Sun and spells like that, it really allows Death Stars into the game.
Yeah, sure.
So I would like to see, this is their solution for the Death Star problem, is that you only get Lookouts for 2 heroes in the same unit.
Yeah.
Versus those spells, and I
That could be good.
Yeah, I really think that could work.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, something like that.
Because, for example, Skaven are running Death Stars with having like 3 or 4 characters in the same unit, but you don't really need a Lookout Sir for the engineers. You can lose them. But if you're running like a proper Vampire Counts Death Star, then you really want the Lookout Sir for all the Necromancer and all the Vampires and and all the Banshees as well. So
maybe
versus those kind of units, I really think that could solve loads of problems.
Yeah.
You might even make it with only 1 Lookout Sir.
Yeah, but I still think you can get it on the General and the BSB. I think that's fair, because both of them are so important for the stability of the list and like keeping the risk out of the game, keeping the chances on a proper level. So
Okay.
So we're gonna leave it with that, and next time we're gonna talk about, I'm not sure which army, but next week we're not gonna do any show. We're gonna do a show after the next week then.
Yes.
But we're gonna have a guest. We have one that we want as the first guest, but I have a backup.
You have a backup.
If we don't get him.
Is it Scarlett Johansson?
No.
Oh, it would be awesome. Oh.
It's your mother.
So almost as good.
Yeah, almost.
Sometimes better.
Yes. At least she's better than you two at Warhammer, so.
Yeah. So next week, I don't think we're gonna say which army we're gonna talk about, because it depends on the guest. But I can say it, like, I think we're gonna, either way, we're gonna talk about Skaven.
Yes.
Or I think maybe we should discuss the Vampire Counts as they are right now.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. So depending on the guest, we're going to choose one of those 2 armies. And like always, if you have any questions, if you want us to bring something to discuss, or just to look at your army lists, or just anything,
we haven't had anyone sending in an army list yet, so please do. We can look at it. We're looking
send
forward
anything.
to it. Yeah, pictures of
you can send a crappy wood elf army.
Yeah. You want
or
do it.
We could do this as a contest. Please send in a good demon army with all the 4 new units. We wish you good luck.
Or just wait. If we are going to discuss what did you say? Skaven and
Vampire Counts. Skaven or Vampire Counts. Yeah.
Send in armies with no restrictions at all on those armies. The best that you can bring out. No restriction at all. Just build anything, and we look over it. And
they should all contain a Scepter of Stability, and if they don't, I've made my point.
Yeah. And after this, we're gonna have our Twitter address and our Facebook address, and yeah, that's about it, I think.
And don't forget to like us and subscribe as well.
Yes.
Yeah, like us and subscribe on Facebook, and add us on Twitter, and you will get the latest news and see what's going on.
Yep.
Yeah, what's cooking.
Yes.
So take care, guys, and see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.